Welcome to the first episode of the year of the DTC Insider podcast. I'm super excited to have you here. I hope you had a great time with your loved ones during the holidays. And now it's time to get to work again. And for that, I wanted to start with this topic. I interviewed over 100 founders and directors of very successful DTC brands over the years on this podcast, and I gathered at least eight things they have in common. So I wanted to share them with you here in the show. So let's get started. The first one is that they offer a product their customers actually want. And I know this sounds straightforward, but it's not. Actually, many times brands need to release a batch of products and make improvements. I would say most of the times, not to say all the time, leveraging customer feedback before producing more and scaling their business. Some brands do some internal releases before the public release of certain products or all the products. Some of them test the products on the street. I don't know. I interviewed the founder of CrossNet, for example, and I remember when they launched the brand, they were going to the beach and set up the net there and start playing with friends and see if people approached them or not and started playing or not. And as far as they said, people started to play and they weren't even playing anymore. People kept coming and started playing and having fun. That's when you know that you have traction for your product and there's demand for what you're trying to offer. There are many ways of doing this, but the main thing is that you shouldn't fall into the trap of not having a product that nobody wants. And if you already have a product and you know that people want it, that's awesome. But times change, people change, new competitors appear, and they offer probably improved versions of what you're currently selling. So the fact that something worked for you once or is currently working doesn't mean that you shouldn't be looking for constant improvement. Okay. Number two, clear core values and unique value propositions. First off, if you haven't read the book Attraction, I advise you go and do it because you would better understand this concept and why it's really important, not only in theory, I used to think the same, but also in practice. Why should a company have core values? You might be wondering. Well, they will help you, among other things, with new hires, with your team, and with your clients or vendors. With the new hires, you'll get a better idea on what questions to ask and whether the candidate is a good fit or not for the company. Your team, you want to build a team aligned with your core values and company culture. So defining them will give you more tools to assess if someone is not a good fit for your company after all. With clients and vendors, these two also need to be aligned with your values, right? You want to be working with clients and vendors that are aligned with them. And by the way, some people I have interviewed had that their core values written on the wall right behind them. That's how important this is to them, and this should be for companies. If you're wondering now what the unique value propositions are, it's basically what makes you different, what makes you stand out from your competitors. Maybe it's better fabrics, a faster or better service, sustainability, or something else that makes you stand out and become a better choice for your consumers. So, as you can see, this is a great way for standing out, and you can see them on the websites many times. The UVP or the unique value proposition icons, like I don't know, 1 day delivery, made in the US, um, fast or easy returns or whatever. But besides being icons, this is a way of doing business, right? So this is what you carry with every piece of communication, more implicitly or explicitly. Number three, these brands, these successful brands, know their numbers very, very well. Although although this might not be perfect in an era of inaccuracy with attribution and many things that are going on in the space, I can almost guarantee that they keep track of more metrics more often and more accurately than non-successful brands. For instance, they may track things every single day, every single week, and not only the ROAS, the return on the ad spend, they will track things like the cogs, the costs, the overall costs, and how they affect um, how the sale is affected by the cost, and vice versa. Cash flow, I don't know, you might be profitable, but you might be cash flow negative because you're not receiving the money until 30 days, or I don't know, etc. So I would suggest that you keep an eye on the numbers, because this is what will prevent many disasters from happening, right? Maybe you're offering a promotion or a discount because you saw your competitors are doing that, and you don't want to stay behind, and you cannot support, financially speaking, that promotion. So there are many things you should look at, but if it's one I would recommend, is your numbers. Number four, have a unique personality. These brands have a unique personality, and let's be honest, many companies offer products that are also available from other brands, right? I mean, there are only few companies that sell unique products that nobody else sell. So if you want to stand out, you need to have a unique personality as a brand. For example, this is a fun one. This this men's underwear brand is different from any other typical men's underwear brand, because these typical brands, most men's or women's underwear brand, use models to showcase their products and content on social media. Yet this brand I interviewed last year took a disruptive approach. The four founders, not one but four, are the face of the brand. And in fact, pay attention to this fact, they first tested models, but it didn't work as good as it works with them as the face of the brand, right? Why? Well, one idea is that people feel a deeper connection with the brand because it looks more human. They know the founders, they see real people wearing the underwears and not just any other models. Plus, they are really fun and create funny content on social media that makes people engaged. So if you ask me about it, you should have a unique personality. You don't need to be the face of the brand mandatorily, but having a unique personality, you could be fun, you could be funny, it could be more formal, but you should be something that your competitors are not. If you sell the same or more or less the same thing and you don't have any unique personality, you will have a harder time selling your products and differentiating from them. Okay. Number five, these brands create a wow customer experience. And I discussed this with a former Disney executive focused on Disneyfying, between quotes, the customer experience. This means mapping out the process, your process, and adding a wow factor. Let's see a few examples in the DTC space. A founder told me he personally calls their customers to ask how they feel about their products. Actually, many of them, not only one, many founders told me they actually call them. Some call all the customers, some call them randomly, and some call their VIP customers to ask them questions, right? Some others send them personalized handwritten thank you notes, a different one in each order. Hey, thank you for ordering for the first time. It means a lot to have you in our family. We are X. You can expect to receive X. Then, hey, thanks for ordering again. We are super excited to hear that you liked the products and you want more, and so on, right? Other brands select a VIP group of people, as I told you, and give them products away to test and get feedback to improve, because this is what I told you in, I think, the first point, right? That this is a way of validating the new products as well. Okay, your VIP customers, turn them into ambassadors and get feedback, right? Finally, some brands even ask their loyal customers or even their fan base what products they would like to see next. And they go ahead and create the top voted ones. Obi, for example, the supplement brand, it's an amazing brand. They do this, for example, right? And some other brands I met, they do the same. They ask their customers what they want, they make them vote, and then they release the products they wanted. Why not doing that in the end? If you're creating products for them, why not getting from them what they want to buy? Number six, these brands also forecast inventory to avoid overstocking or running out of what they are selling. And as a matter of fact, you learn from lessons. And this eight-figure company I interviewed last year, eight-figure company, they are not starting out. And despite that fact, they said that they didn't properly forecast their inventory in 2022 for Q4 and ran out of stock too soon, causing a huge impact on sales, as you can imagine. And on the flip side, some brands order way more inventory that what they are planning on selling or what they think they will sell, and this creates a huge hole in their financials because, of course, they overstocked and now they need to get rid of that, and maybe they need to start creating promotions otherwise they couldn't have created, and that affects the brand perception and many other things, and of course the cash flow, as I said, right? Number seven, they have an awesome team with the right headcount. These two are important equally. They have an awesome team and the right headcount. Having the right people in the right seats is very important from brands. The book I mentioned earlier in this episode, Traction, talks about this in depth, helping you with tools, with specific tools on how to pull this off. And having the right headcount is equally important. If you overhire, you will end up hurting your bottom line. Or let's say you overhire and you need to start firing people, that'll create a messed up company culture in the end as well, because nobody likes when you hire, I don't know, let's say you have 10 employees, you hire three more, and you end up firing three or four employees 6 months later. People staying in the company will start wondering, hey, am I next? Should I go and find another job? So it doesn't create a great company culture for those who stay. And of course, it creates costs that you didn't want to have and you didn't need to have for the time you had these extra employees. So it's really important that you hire the right headcount. What's the right headcount? There's no, I mean, there's one benchmark actually from 2021 by e-commerce fuel. They put it together, but there's no right or wrong. What I would say is that think about it twice or more before hiring. Think, hey, can I handle it alone or not? Just for you to have an idea. Many companies, eight-figure companies I reviewed, they have they had less than 10 people full time, right? Eight-figure companies, they had less than 10 people. See, if you're starting out or you're a six or seven-figure brand and you have, I don't know, 20 people, then probably you have way too many people, unless you think you can justify them. Probably you have way too many people, right? Last but not least, the number eight. These brands leverage a similar tech stack. And for these, I'll put them in the show notes because it will be really long to talk about all of these. But I put together a list that I got from many LinkedIn posts and from what I got in the interviews with them. They have, it's not the company that I will mention in the show notes, the most important things is that the fact that they have some or they are doing something to track that. So if they have a post-purchase survey, the company is great, right? But it's not the most important thing that the tech company they use for that. The most important thing that they should get from these, the takeaway is that they are actually tracking and doing post-purchase surveys. If they have a mobile app, it's not important the vendor they have, but the fact that they have mobile apps. The same with the rest of the apps. they are doing something on that front. And probably you should be wondering, hey, should I be doing that too? And see if it's for you in this moment of your business or not. Okay, folks, that was all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please, it would mean the world to me if you could go ahead and write a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any other platform. And of course, if you want to receive these golden nuggets in a weekly basis, please subscribe to our newsletter at the DTCinsider.com. Thank you.